It's NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here, and it's Mailbag time. We do these Mailbag segments on our live shows where you guys submit questions to us using the hashtag NFL or super chatting, and then we react to your questions live on the show. So, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with our first Mailbag question. Brew Crew 8788 writes, with what Burrow did last week, do I bench him for Deshaun Watson? Not so fast, Brew Crew. We saw Joe Burrow last year get off to a rough start as they threw 4 interceptions against the Pittsburgh Steelers and then had an incredible year after that. So it's not like they haven't done this before. I'm a little skeptical about Deshaun Watson long term, as he did not play great at the end of last year. This past week was a step in the right direction, getting a win, clearly. But I think going forward, even despite the performance there this past week, Joe Burrow is still the guy to roll with. He's got an incredible receiving core. I would not be benching Joe Burrow for Deshaun. ACB writes, which QB's bad performance from week 1 was a surprise? Well, there's a lot of different answers you could turn to, but the most obvious is Josh Allen. Josh Allen throwing 3 interceptions. 3! And I get it, the Jets have a good defense. But that should never happen. I mean, the only person that Josh Allen didn't throw an interception to was me. I mean, everybody was just having a day with Josh Allen. And Josh Allen, it goes to a larger story where he's got to do a better job protecting the football. Plain and simple. Josh Allen has to do a better job of taking care of the football. And I know some people are going to point to, hey, his receiving core is not the best. Beyond Stephon Diggs and Dalton Knox, that they don't have a whole lot there. And I understand it's a fair argument, but it doesn't excuse 3 interceptions in a football game. That was the biggest surprise. Donald says, should the Bears start Roschon Johnson at running back? It's a good question. I'm surprised that the Bears did not make a more aggressive run at the running back position this offseason. I thought whether it was in the draft or trade free agent, whatever, that they would have tried to find another good back there. I like Khalil Herbert. I'm a little biased because I saw him play a lot when he was at the University of Kansas, then ultimately went to Virginia Tech after that. So I don't think in this day and age, everybody makes a big deal about who starts and who doesn't. And I understand that, a lot of it has to do with fantasy owners and all that. But here's the deal. In today's NFL, it doesn't matter who starts at running back. You're going to play multiple running backs and a smart coach. A smart coach. Not everyone's a smart coach. But a smart coach plays the running back that's got the hot hand. And so does he necessarily need to start? I don't think it's that big of a deal. Roschon Johnson's going to get playing time either way, whether he's a starter or not. I have a burner now? Oh, okay. It's news to me. Will Mike Evans get traded? And if so, where? Well, I'm glad you asked, Tyler Jones. Great name. No, I don't think Mike Evans is getting traded right now because I am sitting here and I've been telling people, despite what Smitty thinks, that the Bucs are a decent football team. I have them winning the NFC South. Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans, I think, are a good pairing. Chris Godwin there, that offense can be better than what people think. The Bucs are an interesting spot. I would think, let me put it this way to you, Jonesy. If the Bucs were in full-on rebuild mode, if they weren't in salary cap hell, then trading Mike Evans would have made total sense. Trading Chris Godwin, try to get the assets you can, trade Devin White and all that, right? But they were kind of stuck. And so they're in this, rock hard place situation where they can't restart, but they can't be great either. And so I think Mike Evans, for now, is a part of their future. I don't expect him to be traded. If he were to get traded, I think it's all the teams that you would think. The Patriots, the Giants, the Lions, those teams looking for another big-time receiver there. So the question that we want to ask you guys in regards to Mike Evans, I'm very curious. What do you think? Chime in the comments section. Where will Mike Evans finish the season? Is it going to be still with the Bucs? Is it going to be somewhere else? What do you think? Our pinned comment today. Chime in. Tell me where you think Mike Evans ends up. All right. Brew Crew, 8788. Brew Crew's been wanting to ask me this question. And here we go. So let's get after it. What are your thoughts on Jordan Love? I'll say this. I'm going to be fully transparent, fully frank with y'all. I had my doubts when it came to Jordan Love entering 2023, as I think most people did, because the small sample size that we saw of Jordan Love in his time in the National Football League was not good. Granted, small sample size, but it wasn't good. And so I think with Jordan Love, we saw him play at a high level last week. I think we finally saw why the Green Bay Packers liked Jordan Love. Maybe he's not going to be Aaron Rodgers, but he just might end up being a good enough quarterback to get the job done. And if you're the Green Bay Packers, I think that's kind of what you're hoping for just at this point, is that he continues to be good enough. He doesn't have to be a superstar, but he can't be bad either. He's got to be good enough. And I think what we saw last week, there's optimism to believe that Jordan Love is going to be good enough to get the job done for the Green Bay Packers as far as I'm concerned. So, Brew Crew, thanks for that question there in the inbox. More questions to come here in a moment, but first, got to tell you about one of our newest partners here at Chat Sports, Game Time. Game Time is an incredible app that lets you buy tickets to your favorite sporting events, concerts, comedy shows, and more. And they have the lowest price guaranteed, an easy-to-use interface to make sure you get the best seats at the right price. 3 easy steps to get your tickets. Prices are easy to find. You can see exactly where your seat is, so you get that view of what it's going to be like when you get to the stadium. And then, voila, within a matter of moments, you are purchasing your tickets and you are going to the game. Now, yours truly. I am one of those type of people that I think on the fly and make impromptu decisions. A while back, me and some of my buddies, we decided, you know what? We want to go catch a baseball game. Let's go see the Texas Rangers. You know what we did? We got on Game Time. Boom, boom, pow. Got our tickets. Bam, just like that, and at a great price. And you can get those tickets too. Here's what you need to do. Download Game Time. Enter the promo code NFL Chat. And I'm going to give you $20 off when you download the app and create an account. Why? Because I'm just that type of guy. Game Time's got you covered. Free money right here. $20 off when you use that promo code NFL Chat. So, get to a game this weekend. Get on Game Time and get $20 off. You'll be glad you did with that promo code NFL Chat. Sign up now. Download the app. Terms and conditions to apply. $20 off. Promo code NFL Chat to get your tickets today. JJ Insights, right? Can the Raiders upset the Bills? It's possible. I would say it's unlikely. The Raiders, I didn't expect last week to beat the Denver Broncos, but they did. The Raiders, I think, are a very flawed football team. They got a lot of problems, but the Bills have to figure themselves out. I think this is the perfect bounce-back game for the Bills to get back on track. If the Bills play to their capabilities, this game should not be close. We'll see. Brew Crew 8788 writes, if you're Joe Douglas, who are you calling? Who are you going to call? Ghostbusters. That's who I'm calling if I'm Joe Douglas. Great question. If I'm Joe Douglas, who am I calling? And, you know, if you are Joe Douglas of the Jets, and you think about this situation, I think you're rolling with Zach Wilson For the time being, as much as you may not want to, I don't think you really have a choice. You made your bed, you got to sleep in it, right? And think about this with Zach Wilson. If the Jets did not believe in him to some extent, he would not be there right now. Remember, Saleh and that coaching staff that brought Zach Wilson in as a rookie, there's something they liked in him. And they still kept him around even after the Aaron Rodgers stuff and all this. He's still there. So obviously there's still something they like about Zach Wilson. But that said, you still need a backup for Zach Wilson. And there's a number of potential guys out there. The Gardner Minshews of the world. I'm not wasting my time with Colin Kaepernick, despite what that fraud Jamel Hill says. I'm not doing that. I'm not bringing in RG3, even though he wants to cry on ESPN because he's not getting any opportunities. Well, RG3, you sucked when you were in the NFL. So that's why you're not playing. So I'm not worrying about those hacks. We're not doing that. If I'm the Jets, that's what I'm looking for is those types. I mean, what's Chad Henne doing? I know he retired, but does he want to come hold the clipboard for Zach Wilson potentially? Those type of guys, veterans that have played in games before, that I expect the Jets to potentially look at. I don't think they're going to give up a lot for that backup quarterback position, but that's what they've been looking for. Veteran quarterback with a lot of experience there. CJ2K04, what are the chances Derrick Henry gets traded? CJ, great question. So from what I have heard, what I've been told when it comes to the Tennessee Titans, they are putting themselves in a position of kind of like a baseball team when it comes to the trade deadline. If the Titans are competitive, they'll go all in. They'll be buyers at the deadline. They'll make some trades, try to better that team. If they suck and aren't very good, if they play like they did last week, keep on doing that, then they will be sellers at the deadline. I tend to think that the Titans aren't going to be that good and expect them to be sellers. And no matter what happens, Derrick Henry's not coming back to Tennessee next year. They're not going to pay him more money. So at the moment, I would think, yes, that Derrick Henry does get traded. But I think it's still a little bit later on after the Titans realize their season's not going anywhere and they start to sell the farm. So does he get traded? Yes, but not like tomorrow or even the next week. I think it's still a couple weeks out from now. Should the Titans trade Derrick Henry? What do you think? Live for yes, in for no. Want to hear from you. What do you think? Should they trade him? Chime in the comment section one way or the other.